Right, so as I said, we'll see how Spry works. I'm going to open a blank HTML page for you. Okay, and from the inserts panel, let me insert a basic table. So I'm going to go to the common, insert table, and I will add like 5 or 6 rows, one column, about 800 pixel width, border thickness 0, padding spacing I'm just going to keep it default, and this time I'm using this table for layouting. Okay, we don't encourage to use tables to lay out the websites. What's the best alternative? We use divs and then we apply CSS to it so we can align boxes. This is still we can use. Even for the final exam, if you want to use tables, you can go ahead, as long as I can see the layout. Okay. Now, because I'm using it for layout this time, I'm not applying any header. So for these options, I'm selecting no header. It will just give me plain table with 6 rows, 1 column, 800 pixels wide. Yeah. I'm going to say just OK, and this is what it gives you. It gives you a table. As it is selected, in the properties, I'm using center alignment, right? And slowly we'll start adding things in our design. Now let me just design this website for other clients. I'm just going to use a different website this time. You can copy this folder later on from my contents. Let's go on. London College. I'm copying it in my K drive. Web 1065. Dreamweaver. London College. Okay, let's just design a basic prototype website for this. Quickly, I'm going to define this as my root folder. So let's go to site, new site. Site name is London College, and the root folder is K drive web 1065 Dreamweaver London College. Are we clear with this? This is a very basic thing we all know about defining sites, so it will make my life easier to work. When I say OK, it creates a temporary cache for you, and as you can see here, there you go. In the files panel, we have assets folder and some of the images which we can use. Now in the first row, I'm going to quickly add from the commons lab, use insert image, and from the assets, I will just add the logo. Where's the logo gone? There you go. London College logo. There you go. So we started the website with a very basic configuration of logo and 6 rows. So first row I'm using it to add the logo. In second row we want to create a navigation. Now here we can have our basic hyperlinks, which we have a text, and then we add a link from the properties, right? If you don't want to do that, there's an advanced menu available, which is just under the inserts panel or inserts tab. All you should do is click on the common and select Spry widget, which is just under the list. Okay. Now from the Spry, when you click on it, there are a few things we can add. There are a couple of things at the beginning of the Spry menus, which are for data sets. So normally when we're going to do advanced database applications, we can use all of that. But if I scroll down this panel, at the bottom of this panel, there are a couple of interesting widgets Dreamweaver gives you. Like there is Spry menu bar here. There's a tab panels, accordion, collapsible panel, and tooltip. So a couple of good additions. Now these are ready-made applications. You might have seen these kind of widgets in a day-to-day life. Okay, so I'm going to use here a navigation example to show you right now. Now, before I click on my widget, you should make sure your cursor is in the correct position. Okay, so because I want to add navigation in the second row, let's go to the second row and make sure your cursor is there. And simply from the Spry panel, click on Spry menu bar. Now, it just prompts you that you must save the HTML page before you can add the widget. So it's fine to say OK. I'm saving it as my index page. As you can see, the page has been added in the Files panel. Now, as soon as you satisfy first condition, it gives you what kind of menu you want to create. Okay, it has a beautiful drop-down navigation levels as well. So either if you want a horizontal type or either vertical navigation. Vertical navigations will be normally either on the left or in the right column. Okay, most probably we have horizontal navigation. So if I just select horizontal, there you go, it's done. It gives you default navigation with 4 items, and item 1 and 3, it shows a black arrow, means it has some sub-level navigations as well. But let's just see the preview. I'm gonna save this. The moment I try and save this default file, it asks you to copy these documents in your website's root folder. Okay, now there's no choice for you to cancel it or not accept it. You have to say okay. Okay, if you don't have these files in your folder, your Spry will not work. Okay, as I said earlier, Spry is a ready-made application which has asynchronous JavaScript, or JavaScript you can just remember as, then cascading style sheets and HTML combined together. So all of this comes from these default files from the list. Okay, the moment you say okay, in your files panel, do you see it creates a ready-made folder for you called Spry Assets. So all those files will be automatically under the Spry Assets folder. Okay, and in future when you're going to upload this website online, you have to make sure you upload this folder as well. Otherwise your Spry in the website will not work. Okay, but as long as everything is in one folder, we know that we upload everything, so it should be not a problem. Right, all I've done is added a Spry navigation, saved the page, accepted that it should be like that. I'm quickly going to change the title as well. And let's have a look in the preview. I'm going to preview this in Explorer. Ask me later. And there you go. That's your website with a table, and that's your navigation menu. How easy it is to use. Yeah, now see the customization. But so far, is it okay? We go to the Inserts panel, we go to the Spry panel, and we add horizontal menu from the options. Sorry? This is the navigation bar. Now let's see how we can configure it so that we can use it for ourselves. Okay. At the moment, by default, it gives you one drop-down level for item 1, but for item 3, it gives you first drop-down level, and then it gives you second drop-down level as well. Right? There is no third drop-down level. What's the obvious reason? 3 clicks rule. They don't want to show you your actual page, and you should go to the 4 levels of navigation. Okay, so ideally is top, sub, first level, and then second. Within this, you should reach to your destination. Okay, let's go back to Dreamweaver. I'm going to quickly show you how to configure. Now, most of these Spry applications, when you add, they will have their own div, and the div will have a blue outline, and you can see there's a little bar which pops up at the top. Now that bar won't be there if your mouse is not on the clicked inside the Spry. Okay, the moment you hover your cursor on the Spry, that blue bar will pop up. Okay, now whenever you want to configure, add, delete your panels from Spry, you should just move your cursor over the Spry and click on the Spry blue tab. Okay, so if I click on that blue tab, then it can be anywhere. Yeah, but it has to have a layout, otherwise it will span across the whole website. Yeah, It's a content. Right, so we selected the tab and you can see the properties now. What do you see in the properties? The entire section will give you the configuration options to work with your menu bar. So if you want to use this menu bar as per your choice, all you should do now is to select your first level items from here, the second level from there, and third level from this column. And for each item you select in the list, you see on the right hand side, it gives you multiple options. You can change the name or the label of your hyperlink. You can actually give it a real page reference, which is hyperreference. You can give a hyperlink title, so when you hover your mouse, and for accessibility, people can hear it. And target, what are the different targets we use? Yes, so we use either underscore self or we use underscore blank. So either or, whichever we want. Most of the time, Spry is internal navigation of your website. So it has to be underscore self. Okay? So if you don't mention it, Dreamviewer will automatically take it underscore self. Unless you want to display anything in your Spry navigation, which should go on third website or in a different tab, then use underscore blank. Yes. Now let's see quickly. I'm gonna change it. So if I'll go back to the Spry menu, item 1, click on the label, and on the right hand side, options, select it and change it to home. Just hit enter. It changes the actual navigation from your screen. Now for the home, if I don't want any of those levels, sub-level, then you should select this level and click on remove menu item. So if I remove it, you see an actual links, it is removing those items. Second level, item 2, click on it and you can make it to whatever you like. Third, you can select the item, you can have it like products, or if I can have it for courses. Okay, and for the courses, I can see there's a drop-down navigation available. First level, it shows me item 1, 2, and 3, but for first sub-item, it has another level. So maybe I can use this first item as for the web courses. Then I can have for networking courses. And then I can have for office courses. And for the web, I can select the third level and I can make it for, yeah, you can say like HTML, CSS. Then I'm going to have for PHP, MySQL. For networking, if there's no sub-level, but if you want it, select that label, and in the third level, just click on Add Menu Item. You can select those levels, and you can have like MCSC, you can have CCNA, item 4 you can select, and you can change it for contactors. I'm not giving a link because we don't have those pages, but in future we can actually give the hyperlinks as well. Yeah, we'll come to that. First, we configured the menus. Any question? Easy to add, remove, save it. If I'll check it, there you go. Inbuilt navigation. Okay, but that is configuring the actual items and changing the link's name. Okay, for styling, if I'll go back, by default it shows your bar with the light gray color, and on over it shows dark blue shades. Okay, and the text is changing to white as well on mouse over. But all of this is obviously happening through CSS. Okay, and when we have accepted all those external files from Spry assets folder, that CSS file is already there. Now instead of opening that file, I'm gonna go to CSS styles panel, and you see in the panel that style sheet file has been automatically linked with your HTML page, so you don't need to even do that external linking. The moment we say OK, the linking happens. Okay. Now there are some items inside there. So there are some selectors. If I can click on that plus symbol here, right now here you can see that. Just gonna expand this panel so that you can see the majority of it. Yeah, there you go. Now these are all UL, means the whole navigation has been created using unordered list. Okay, UL. And in that UL, they have created all these classes. Dot menu bar horizontal, dot menu bar active. Now probably you don't know what is exactly affecting the actual Spry content. But the best way is click on the actual selector from the list, excuse me, and you can see in the properties, you will see what properties has been applied to that selector. Now, we are only probably interested in the color for a while. So if I just keep going through this list, and there you go. So it's UL, menu bar horizontal A, means the hyperlink. Okay? Now for that hyperlink, background color is triple E, which is that light gray. And the color is dark gray, which is the actual text color. So if I want to change that as per my website, I can change hyperlink's color to whichever color I like. There you go. Text color, I can change it to whichever color I like. Yeah, that should be the next one. There you go. That's the hover. I can change that to anything I like. Hmm. These arrows, the black arrows. Oh, those are your Spry assets images. So those could be most probably these GIF files. Do you see? Menu bar dot GIF. Now you have to create those and then replace that with the actual ones. But you can do that. Yeah. By default, these are the GIF files they have given you, which are those little arrows. But then you have to create those tiny images and replace it with these. Okay. So I've changed that for the hover, and let's see what else. Showing you the color CFOs. There you go. There's one more color. So I'm gonna show it to CFO. Okay. Now with these settings, is there anywhere else any other color? Not really. So only these three has colors. That's the item. That's for only Internet Explorer, I think. No, I think that's not affecting. Let's see these three. Save the file. Save all. Sorry. And let's just preview. Okay. So that's the navigation as per your website. Done. It's all there. Yeah. Everything is under CSS. So if you want to see the A tag was showing you the colors, right? Now there is no font probably for hyperlinks. It is giving you the by default font. You can add additional property. So right now the navigation is showing you the plain text. If you want, you can add a property. You can scroll down, select any font related property, font weight. Yeah, let's say font variants. We can see what does it give you. Small caps. No, we don't need that. Let me just delete that. Let's add a property for font weight, and I can select font weight bold. There you go. All hyperlinks goes bold. So you can use and modify existing CSS styles, or you can add additional. As long as they work fine with all the browsers, you're allowed to do any changes, but these are inbuilt applications. Okay? And your vertical navigation will also exactly work same. Instead of appearing horizontally, it will be in a vertical navigations. So the drop-down navigation will appear on the right, and for horizontal it will come down. Clear? Let's try. Let me stop recording and I'll demonstrate you next recording with Spry tab panels. Okay.